Hey YouTube, it's been a minute since we last got a chance to catch up. So I'm setting myself a goal here. I want to start creating content on a more frequent basis. And I'm going to just try and film and basically upload pretty much raw and see how that goes. So here goes. I've got some pretty big updates. I want to repurpose this channel a little bit to be in a position where it's more about what I'm interested in. And I've definitely become more interested in something quite recently that I want to share with you guys. I've been wearing an Apple Watch since the Apple Watch very first came out around 2014. And for those of you that might know me, I worked at Apple when the very first iPhone came out in 2007. And since then, pretty much all in, hooked within the Apple ecosystem. So since 2014, I've owned only an Apple Watch. And then this year, I was actually in Dublin around WWDC, WWDC, June 8th, I believe it was. Two things. Number one, the Apple Watch Ultra I bought when it first came out. And at the time, it was around a £700 watch. And I thought absolutely worth it. And way back, I've had the Apple Watch. So the best part of 12 years, all I've done is own Apple Watch, no other watches. But in Dub this year, they announced they would no longer support the Apple Watch Ultra. And now it's only been around for about 4 or 5 years, and I spent £700 on this thing. And I watched this whilst with some colleagues at work when we happened to be traveling in Dublin at the time. And one of the things I realized was I'm not buying another Apple Watch. That's it. I'm done. I can't have something for that much money that software-wise is not supported for that long. And it just so happened that I was with a group of people, and Peter, the CSO of the company I work at, happened to be having a beautiful Rolex Daytona with him. And he was showing me this beautiful watch. And it was a beautiful watch. And it took me down this incredible path of learning about horology. And I've been watching copious amounts of YouTube content since then. And my daughter, Luna, was born this year, January 19th. And I thought this is a perfect time to really think about buying the perfect watch to represent the birth of her and her life entering into mine. And after a lot of consideration and a lot of research, I joined some Facebook groups, spoke to really great people, and I decided which I thought would be the absolute perfect watch for this. And for me to retire the Apple Watch Ultra and begin a watch journey. And after a lot of research, I think I landed on the perfect one. And I want to show it to you. And you'll see here that that journey has began with me going down a very different path. And I'll do more content around these different watches. But the watch that I settled on was one that I thought would be perfect. Now, she's obviously the very first child that I've ever had. So I wanted to buy a watch that represented that. I wanted something special that would last many, many years. And with her name being Luna, I naturally went down the route of understanding more about moon style watches. And for those of you that know, you will know there is only one moon watch. And that's the original watch, the very first went to the moon and was worn by Neil Armstrong and those are the very famous astronauts that you know. And the name of that watch is the Omega Speedmaster. Now this is an absolutely beautiful watch. And I got one in what they call Sapphire Sandwich, where at the back of the watch, you might be able to see that you can see the individual moving pieces. And at the front is also sapphire. It comes in different versions, one with Hesalite, one without. But I wanted to begin that journey and I wanted to get a watch that I could have for the rest of my life and begin my journey with. So I got this watch because it represents Luna coming into my life. And it's a sacrifice that I made to get this watch because they're not cheap. And it took me down this wonderful new path of learning about horology. So my very first watch, my first proper watch that I've ever bought to represent the birth of Luna. And that means that I can finally retire my Apple Watch Ultra. For those of you that are understanding a little bit more about watches, I would recommend that you research as much as you can, but equally, if you've got any questions, I want you to leave them in the comments. And I want to share with you this journey as I go along. And I'm going to be uploading more content about different watches and what they all mean. But the Omega Speedmaster Professional This is one from 2022. It really represents to me what watches really are. And that's this incredible device. As somebody who's incredibly passionate about technology, they are original technology that are powered, have movements, but have these incredible pieces, these mechanisms that move around is what makes it work. You don't need electricity to run them. And they're going to outlast and outlive its owners. And one day, Luna, I hope you're watching this video and you understand the journey I went through. I have a Whoop 5, which I'm considering replacing for a Google Fitbit Air when my subscription comes to an end. But I thought I'll share this with you because I don't think the world of smartwatches is the right one. I got tired of all the notifications, constant notifications, but also the fact that I had to keep charging. I had to find a charger every single night to try and charge this thing. And I also went for a hike and I did the Yorkshire 3 Peaks. And you'll notice in my last video versus this video that I've lost about 23 kilos. I've gone down since Luna's come into my life, I've gone down this journey of trying to get into the best shape possible. And I'm going on holiday for the first time in 12 years where we're taking her to Spain. And I want to get into my best physique possible. And I've already bought a watch that I'm going to wear when I hit my objectives and my goals with my weight. And I'll wear for every single holiday we go for the rest of our lives. And I can't wait to show you that watch. I've also bought another watch, which I think is probably the best watch and I love wearing it. In fact, I've got 6 watches that I've purchased, all with different meanings. And of course, my Apple Watch Ultra, which I won't be wearing or wear very infrequently. All this to say that if you are somebody who values things and you want these things to have meaning, I've discovered that watches are that thing, whereas an Apple Watch just becomes defunct. For the health features, I would recommend the Whoop 5 or Google Fitbit Air if you want to keep with your health and then have your watch on your other side. So I am going to take off my Apple Watch Ultra. I'm going to keep it also to remember. This is the watch that I did wear when she was born. So it has memories associated to it. I just don't think that when she's old enough, she'll be able to turn it on and use it. Whereas the other watches I'm buying now, she will. So look, I'm going to go on a journey and I want to share with you guys this journey about technology, about watches, and just about things I'm generally interested in. And if that's something that sounds interesting to you, great, subscribe. Leave questions in the comments. If you're an existing subscriber and this is going in a very different direction and you would like to unsubscribe, I totally understand. This channel will be as much for me sharing about what I find interesting as much as it will be a small time capsule for Luna and any future children that want to go back and watch Dad when he was a bit younger with more hair and in better health. So if you want to be part of that journey, do subscribe. If you've got any questions, do let me know. I'm not going to script these videos. I'm going to 100% freestyle and I'm going to see how they go as they go. So if you're interested in technology, if you're interested in watches, I'm really into the world of AI right now. I've got lots to share around there. It's very possible this watch video, my very first one, may not get that many views, might even get 100, and that's okay. I'm going to try and keep publishing content. I'm just sat in front of my double door where light is coming in naturally. I've got fancy lights I'm not going to use. I'm using my current camera, my Sony a7 IV that I bought a few years ago that I want to make the most of, and this microphone. And it'll be just about the information and the stories I wish to share. So I'm not going to edit this. It's going to be imperfect. You're going to see it exactly as it's shot. Although I might test some AI software just to see like Gling, and I'm coming across really interesting software that I may experiment with to put this video into before uploading and seeing what it can do. But yeah, this is the new YouTube channel and this is what I'm going to be talking about. And if you find that interesting, I would love to hear your thoughts downstairs or down below in the comments, and let's take it from there. All right. First video in quite some time. Checking out. Ciao.